Hi friends, I'm back with another exciting game. So let's start. e4, e5, knights came out, bishops developed. I'm breaking open the center. Check with the bishop, blocked with the knight. He took the knight, captured back the bishop. He brought out his another knight. I'm attacking this f7 pawn here, but he did the castling. I brought my queen here, threatening a checkmate on h7 by capturing that pawn with the queen. So he pushed that pawn ahead, attack on the knight. Now here if you notice on f7 pawn there are 3 attackers and only 2 defenders. So I just went ahead and took this pawn here. Now there is attack on a queen. So he captured the knight. I captured it back with the queen. King moved here in the corner. Now here I wanted to continue my attack and there was no another good way but like to capture this pawn with my bishop. Here it's not very clear, or the checkmate is also not in a sight basically, but still I went ahead and continue attacking this king. Now it's like he captured it with the pawn and now the king is like a very in an open area basically. So I gave a check with queen. King moved to the only square here. Now I wanted to give a check with the bishop, so I brought the bishop here, but he wanted to defend this particular g6 square, so he brought his queen here, like trying to defend his king. I continued with my plan. I moved my this pawn, and now there is a check on the king. He brought his knight here to block the check. That's the only thing. I can't capture the knight, otherwise queen will capture it and my attack will die down basically. So to continue the attack, I moved this pawn here. I'm planning to take this pawn to h5 and put more pressure on the knight, black knight. But he moved his pawn ahead. So now I wanted to attack on this pawn, so I moved this pawn here. And our next move, I will move this g2 pawn to g4 basically. So meanwhile he was trying to create attack on my king, so he captured this pawn here in the center. I moved my pawn here on g4. He captured it with his own pawn. I think this is not a good move from black side. I moved my pawn ahead. Now there are 3 attackers on this knight, and knight is pinned with the bishop to also, so he cannot move it. So he then brought his queen here in the trying to get this queen exchange so that he can not be checkmated basically. So I ignored that and captured this knight with the pawn. Now there are checks from 2 pieces. One is from the pawn and another is from the rook. He moved his king to the only square here, and now if you can find it, this is a beautiful checkmate with the bishop. He can put his bishop in between, but we can simply grab it and it's another check. He can also put his queen here, but we can just capture it with our queen and it's a checkmate. Thank you guys.